Hi there, and welcome to this week's edition of Top End Track Talk. I'm Andrew O'Toole, and today we'll be having a look at the 8th of December meeting, our second consecutive race meeting here at Fanny Bay. Not surprisingly, after racing just 7 days ago, the field sizes are somewhat reduced from last week, but it doesn't make picking a few winners any easier, I'll tell you. Some 35 horses have accepted for the meeting, with the first race set to get underway at the mid-afternoon time of 3:35 p.m. In recent Track Talk editions, we've been having a look at the progress of the eagerly anticipated race day tie-up stalls. I'm sure you'll agree that it is beginning to take shape and look really something, and all going well, it will be completed by Christmas. Hopefully the new tie-up stalls will be in use for the last meeting of the year, which is the 29th of December. But if there are any hold-ups in the next week or two, we might not christen the new facility until the first meeting in 2019, which will be the 12th of January. The final concrete pours took place this week, with the roof, insulation, power and drainage channels all being installed as well. The partitions and perimeter fencing will be next week's job, with the rubber tiles on the base of the tie-ups one of the last jobs. Now on to the selections for Saturday's 5 races. In the first, it's the Ladbrokes Handicap, and my numbers are 1, 3, 5 and 6. We're going here with number 1, Making the Grade, looking to continue the tremendous run being experienced by leading trainer Gary Clark recently. Gary's bagged a double at the last 5 meetings, no less, and I think he'll win the first here on Saturday with Making the Grade. Kim Gladwin retains the ride. This horse won well 2 starts back on Melbourne Cup Day. There was a good second to the stablemate Captain Apollo. That was on the 17th of November. Of course, owned by a number of Sky Racing luminaries, including Greg Radley and Munns and Dufficy and the boys, and of course races in the famous blue colours of the mighty mare Winx. I've got it on top, number 1, Making the Grade. To beat number 3, Was a Goner. Paul Denton for Kerry Petrick was in the same race that Making the Grade finished second the other day. This one finished third. Was slightly disappointing, I thought, Was a Goner, but the step up from the 1200 to the 1300 metres should suit. In for third, number 5, Ominous Warning. Richie Oakford takes the mount for Pete Stennett, and my 4th selection, number 6, Perpetual Bliss. The numbers 1, 3, 5 and 6. The second, the Gardens Park Golflex Handicap. It's the benchmark 54 and it's over the 1200 metres. The numbers here are 2, 6, 5 and 3. Going here with number 2, Taipei Dancer from the Jason Manning stable, and Vanessa Arnott, as normal, takes the mount. This horse has been very, very consistent since coming to Darwin a few months ago. Last start, probably the worst run it's put in up here, finished 4th behind Perpetual Bliss. That was on the 10th of November, but wasn't beaten far. Jason's been patient since with the horse, giving it a month between runs, and I think Taipei Dancer, in what's not a strong lineup from the one gate, will take a lot of beating. So number 2 on top for me. Ahead of number 6, Choice Approach. Won a really good race here last week in the hands of young Dan Morgan. Finished second. A shout out to Dan. He finished second on Choice Approach in the first race, then had a fall in race 3 or 4, I think it was, in Darwin last Saturday. Luckily escaped major injury, returned to Alice Springs on Tuesday. So we wish Dan all the best. Hopefully he'll be back in action in next to no time. Ray Viger takes the mount on Choice Approach for Shane Clark this week, and I've got it in to run second. 3rd selection, number 5, Flinders Beach. Barry Hupperts for Cherie Lawler, and in for 4th, number 3, Lindwall. 2, 6, 5 and 3 in the second. The third's the 10 Darwin Handicap. It's the 0 to 70, the highest graded race on the day. It's over the 1100 metres. The numbers here 3, 4, 1 and 6. There'll be some pace on this one. Really looking forward to this contest. I'm going here with number 3, Brunswick Street. Paul Shires for Gary LaFoe Jr. Gary trained a winner last week, and I think Brunswick Street can make it 2 in a row for the stable. Finished second last time out to Jolly Boy. That was 1,000 metres. The 1,100 metres will suit, and especially in this event where they're going to go hard with the likes of Tuscarora, Dark Whirlwind and Iron Lotus speeding along at the front. I think Brunswick Street can get the run just in behind them and finish over the top. 3 on top for me. Ahead of 4, Dark Whirlwind. Looking for its 3rd win in a row for Shane Clark. Jared Todd takes the mount this week from the one gate. It'll be very prominent for a long way and hard to beat. In for 3rd, number 1, Tuscarora, a winner last start, no, 2 starts back rather, than 3rd last time behind Needy Rocket. Vanessa Arnott aboard for Jason Manning. It'll be there or thereabouts. My 4th selection, number 6, Iron Lotus. 3, 4, 1 and 6, race 3. In the 4th, it's the Silk Laser Clinics Trobus Handicap. It's the Class 2. It's over the 1100 metres. The numbers here 4, 1, 3 and 2. Going here with number 4, Liberty's Torch for Kerry Petrick and Wayne Davis. Wayno's only ride of the day, incidentally. He won a race last week on Mazzaro. Takes them out here on Liberty's Torch. Good run last time behind the smart horse in Pagman. And I think with natural improvement and a bit of luck in running, Liberty's Torch is the horse to beat. Number 4 on top for me. Ahead of number 1, Divine Red. Good winner last week for the Clark stable. Carl Spry takes them out this week. Brendan Davis, of course, rode the horse last week. Brendan suffered a injury in the gates last Saturday here, and he's broke a bone in his foot, so he's out for probably 5 or 6 weeks. So Carl takes them out. He's probably on the fat side, Carlo. He's just returned from his trip to South Africa, but this one's got 61.5, so he should be okay. Putting it in for second, Divine Red. In for third, number 3, Restless, and my fourth selection, number 2, Amigo Mio. 4, 1, 3 and 2 in race 4. And in the last, the 0 to 58 handicap, it's over the 1,000 metres, and this one signals the completion of his riding stint here in the top end for Richie Oakford, and consequently this race to be known as the Farewell Richie Oakford Handicap. We wish Richie and his wife Linda all the very best as they embark on the next chapter of their life in Rockhampton. Richie's ridden here in the top end for about the last 10 years, I think, after making a comeback at age 40. We wish Richie and his wife all the very best in the future, and hopefully he can go out on a winner in the last. He's on number 1, Wongur, but I haven't included it in the selections. I'm going 2, 3, 6 and 5. Number 2 on top here, Tregoric. Really liked the way this horse won last time out, beating Flinders Beach. That was on the 10th of November. Paul Shire's aboard this week. Brendan Davis rode last time, so doesn't lose anything there on the score of horsemanship. And I've got it on top here, number 2, Tregoric from the Leah Walling Denton stable. To beat number 3, Madame Duporth, was just collared late last time out. Paul Denton aboard for Kerry Petrick. Will be hard to beat over the 1,000 metres. In for third, number 6, Puzzled Princess. Good run last week, backing up quickly. Raymond Viger for Tayan Holter. Fourth selection, number 5, Wawrinka. 2, 3, 6 and 5. In the last, the Farewell Richie Oakford Handicap. My best bet in Darwin this Saturday comes up in race 1, and it's number 1, Making the Grade. Race 1, number 1, Making the Grade, in the famous Winx colours. Well, my best each way chance comes up in race 5, and that's number 2, Tregoric. I think it's an each way special on the day. Race 5, number 2, Tregoric. Well, that wraps up this edition of Top End Track Talk, but we'll be back again next week in advance of the 15th of December meeting, before we all enjoy a fortnight's break over the Christmas period, before returning for the pre-New Year's Eve meeting on the 29th of December. In the meantime, good luck and good punting.